Hi everyone, my name is Raynald Chavvah Ramadzaky. I'm a law student at Universitas Negeri Semarang. My student ID is 250-801-0075. And today, I'm going to explain to you about Romanian Penal Law, or some of you might know it as criminal law. By the way, Romanian and Rome is a separate thing. So, this is the Romanian, the country in Europe. Okay. Romania follows the European continental civil system. What is that? This is a legal system that is considered the most perfect system. Why? Because it is the most structured, logical, consistent, neat, and is built upon the Romans' customary of law. So this legal system is based upon that, and it is considered the most pure because it is so structured and so neat. Okay. The penal law in Romania is structured and codified in the criminal code and criminal procedure code. So, Romania used this code, and in 2014, there is this thing where, because it is stated that Romanian criminal code and criminal procedure code doesn't follow suit with European Union standard of legal practice, they had a whole reformation of this codification, and the new one they use is the updated version, the 2014 updated version of criminal code. Okay, Romanian penal law in itself follows a strict legal principle, where no crime and no punishment without a clear basis of law. So, if you are to be convicted, but there is no rule that states that it is prohibited, so you can be convicted, or you can be convicted by your action. It needs to have a basis in law, stated in law. Romanian penal law also had a clear distinction by which they decide the severity of the punishment. So, in Romania or in Europe in general, there is a ranking system of how harsh the punishment is. The lowest one, the most lenient, is negligence. So, negligence means that you did something that is prohibited by the law, but it is of no intent. So, this is the least punished, the most lenient punishment. The second one is mixed intent. So, in mixed intent, you had an intention to do some harm, but the action that you did more than just your intention. That is basically what mixed intention means. So, because you didn't really intend to do a harm that huge, that impactful, this is not what, even though it's not as lenient as negligence, but it's not as harsh as intent. So, and the third one is intent. Intent means that you have the intention, the means rea, to do harm, and basically do a crime. So this is the most harsh. Sometimes it even resulted to imprisonment. And talking about imprisonment, let's talk about the sentencing system, the punishment. Okay, in Romania, the punishment it's not really defaulted on imprisonment like Indonesia, but it had many variety. First one is probation, fines based on financial day units, community service, and last is imprisonment only for serious crime. So if you maybe did some theft, it doesn't result on imprisonment, but maybe some probation and fines, like that. Okay, let's go to Romania's procedure. I'm sorry, I used to be unable to talk and spell out my R, so it's a bit of a tongue twister. Romania's procedural penal law. This is the rule that dictate how the law proceeds in Romania. And in Romania, police and prosecutor conduct investigation together. It's quite like Indonesia, where both of them, police and prosecutor, conducted investigation. And for this case that is investigated to go to court, a prosecutor must decide if it goes. So, if someone were to push a case, a prosecutor is needed for it to go to court. Okay. And the court itself follow European Convention on Human Rights Standard. And this consists of, first one is innocent until proven guilty. So, if you are to be convicted in Romania or in Europe in general, if you have not been proven to be guilty, you are assumed to be innocent, but still a suspect. You are not really free, but you can be punished for your action until proven guilty. The second one is a person right to have a lawyer. So, you in court, you have a right to have a lawyer, maybe a state lawyer, maybe a private lawyer. You have a right to have a lawyer. One is a person right to remain silent with a lawyer present. So, if you are to be investigated or maybe even questioned by the police, prosecutor in court, you have the right to remain silent until a lawyer is present. Without a lawyer, you have the right to remain silent. But once a lawyer is present, you are obligated to answer. But this answering part could also be done by the lawyer. Okay. And a guarantee for a fair trial. So, European Union or Romania guarantees a fair trial. So, even if you were to be suspected by the whole country, you are guaranteed by the criminal procedure code to have a fair trial. Okay. And Romania is a country which is known for its aggressive anti-corruption effort. They even had a whole special institution called Directi Nasional Anti-Korupsi, or DNA. That is the counterpart of KPK in Indonesia. That controls or handle a case regarding corruption and things like that. And this aggressive pursuit of anti-corruption is driven by European Union pressure and monetary mechanism. So, European Union has a monitoring mechanism in which they monitor the country that is part of European Union, and one of the things that is aggressively pursued by this monitoring is the corruption part. Okay, so I have explained to you everything that I have researched for, I think, a month ago. Yeah, that. So I'm sorry if my explanation is a bit of janky, because to be honest, English is not my first language, and yeah, I'm a shy person. So thank you for listening to my explanation. I hope you get a new and precious information from my explanation, and thank you and goodbye.